Welcome to Civic Voters Education 2023 here on Trust TV. I am Nay Opia Clark. Welcome. In every election, the participation of citizens is very important. There is the need, therefore, to carry all cadre of society along in the electoral process. Voter and civic education are necessary to ensure that all constituents, men and women alike, understand their rights, their political system, the contest that they're being asked to decide, and how, as well as where, to vote. To better understand the role of citizens in an election, we'll be looking at another phenomenon in our electoral process in this episode. It's voter inducement. This program is facilitated by the Institute for Media and Society and funded by the European Union. Please note that the content of this broadcast does not reflect the views of the Institute for Media and Society, nor that of the European Union. Now, to begin the program, let's take a look at some news highlights ahead of the 2023 general elections.
The Institute for Media and Society, IMS, calls for deliberate efforts on the parts of stakeholders to strengthen radio broadcasting and provide for its enabling environment so that it can remain a strong tool for peace and development. This call is made on the background of World Radio Day, an annual event established by the United Nations to celebrate the impact and importance of radio as a medium for information, entertainment, social and cultural development. While felicitating with the Nigerian media community and stakeholders, the Institute submit that the theme for this year's edition of the World Radio Day, Radio and Peace, is timely and apt, especially within the context of upcoming 2023 general elections. IMS urged journalists and other media professionals to ensure conflict-sensitive and inclusive reporting to promote peace. While acknowledging the unfavorable environment for media freedom, the Institute further urged media professionals to help create an atmosphere of balanced, fair and accurate programming that will help voters to make informed decisions in choosing their representatives. IMS also called on security agencies, political actors, regulatory agencies, federal government and lawmakers to demonstrate full understanding of the role of journalists and other media professionals with a view to creating a favorable environment for free media. The Independent National Electoral Commission has dismissed reports on the planned postponement of the 2023 general election. The Commission, in a message on its Twitter handle, said INEC has no plan and will not postpone the election. The fake news dated February 13 claimed that INEC may have to shift the February 25 presidential election to March 4, 2023 due to the scarcity of cash as a result of the new Central Bank of Nigeria policy limiting daily withdrawal and availability of the newly redesigned 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1000 Naira notes. Also reacting, the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman, Mr. Rotimi Oyekomi, said that INEC had no plan to postpone the election. In a similar vein, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has unveiled an online platform and app for the training of its officials ahead of the general elections. INEC said that the app, called INEC eSchool, is aimed at enhancing the effectiveness of electoral training of its officials. The electoral body said that the system is built to provide a cutting-edge experience of electoral training using face-to-face and virtual approaches by integrating text-based audio and videos. Ahead of the February 25 and March 11 general elections, the Youth Initiative for Advocacy, Growth and Advancement, YAGA Africa, has charged the Independent National Electoral Commission to make public and address the challenges identified during the testing of the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, BVAS. The Executive Director of YAGA Africa, Samson Itodo, made the call during the presentation of its findings on the mock accreditation exercise recently conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Samson, who said that most of the devices were activated and configured in line with the guidelines, added that some devices failed during activation and configuration due to the hardware failures. He said INEC investigating cases where the beavers failed to authenticate the biometrics of voters despite having their names on the register will inspire public confidence in the beavers and IREV. The Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa (CAPA) has expressed belief that a free and fair election is possible in Nigeria despite the challenges that may pose threat to its success. The group said its latest report titled 2023 General Elections: Challenges and Threats to Consolidating Democracy was informed by recent developments in the political space and the concerns that continue to grow as elections approach. Unveiling the report before journalists, the group highlighted major concerns raised by Nigerians such as lingering fuel and cash scarcity, rising insecurity challenges in the polity, the spread of misinformation and fake news, and likely manifestation of voter suppression and social unrest. But in spite of the challenges highlighted, the report notes that there is hope that credible elections can be achieved. CAPA hopes that its recommendations to the critical stakeholders are taken as the country counts down to the elections.
Welcome back. To usher us into today's interview, let's find out, what is the worth of a vote? Would you sell your vote for any reason?
If I'm 100% sure there will not be rigging of any election, definitely I will vote for the person I want. I will not sell my vote. If I know it will count, I will not sell it. The reason I say I will sell it in the first place because I wasn't sure it will count.
Well, the truth of the matter is that our voting always counts. Even if we always tell ourselves that our voting does not count, that is why it will never count. But whenever we come out and vote, it will definitely count. Because one person is actually one stick that makes a broom, not plenty brooms that comes together. It is one at a time. No, actually, one thing is that even if I sell it, the money will finish. But then in the future, I'll still be the one that will suffer for my own consequences on actions.
Yes, I will sell my vote. Because I need money and there's no cash at hand. My vote it doesn't have any specific words. But there's something I always tell Nigerians. You can collect money from PDP or from any party you choose to, NNPP, APC, Labour Party. When you get to your polling unit to vote, when you get to the polling unit, it's between you, your God, and the paper. The person you collected money from won't follow you to the place you're going to vote. And whenever you vote, the party won't appear on your thumbprint. You can collect money from whoever. Go there and vote the party you want to vote. Come outside and tell the person, I voted for your party. But inside of you, you know the party you voted for.
I will not sell my vote because I know my right as a citizen of Nigeria. I have the right to vote and to vote for. And for that reason, I won't sell my vote. I vote for the person that has the quality, that is a right candidate, that is going to stand and lead us in this society, most especially in our country today. That is what I'm after. I'm looking at somebody that is a person of integrity, somebody that has humanity at heart, somebody that is willing to deliver, somebody that has God-fearing heart, somebody that is willing to do what he or she said that he will do it for people.
Collecting money, for election to vote the highest bidder, it's ungodly. You have to vote your conscience and look at the pedigree of the person in question. What are the person got to offer? Because these are the things that people look at in the advanced country. They will interview them. If we vote you into power and you become our leader, our president, what do you have to offer? But because our society, because we are poor, so with a bag of rice personalized, they put their picture there and they dangle 500 naira, they will collect it and sell their conscience, sell out their conscience, sell the future of their children and the unborn children. And that is what has brought us to where we are right now. If people look at the pedigree of the person and the manifesto, what has the person got to offer?
Fight for you to vote, but me, on a normal day, on that day of election, I will not go out to vote. So there's no point in me, yes, even if I have it, I won't go out to vote. No? I don't like Nigeria, but what's what I do, bros? I go hustle, make my own end. I'm trying to make ends meet for my own self and make my own life better. So me fighting for Nigeria should fight for himself.
Well, I feel it's ignorant people that sell their votes. Because why sell your votes? I may be voting for somebody, even if it doesn't turn out to be the best person that Nigerian is, but I use my full chest to vote for him. And I feel people that sell their vote are people that don't know why they should vote in the first place. I would have called them illiterate, but the truth is, even educated people sell their votes. So what should I call them? I call them ignorant. Why sell your vote? For how much? No matter the amount of money to finish. It won't take you through 8 years. Because the truth is, let us be sincere. Any president coming, it's only those that fear God that will stay for 4 years and want to do another election. Their goal is 8 years straight. Please ask yourself, that money you're collecting, is it going to sustain you for the next 8 years? If yes, then go ahead. If not, then why sell your vote?
You don't buy vote. If you look at yourself as a good governor, you don't need to buy vote. You don't need to buy vote. If you are sincere in what you are coming for is real, you want to build a new Nigeria, you don't need to buy vote. Let the people, because the people are the people who are coming to vote for you.
Now, for more on this and other issues, we spoke to the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner of the Federal Capital Territory, Yaya Bello, in this interview. Please take a look.
People who have been caught in the board by, in fact, we are looking for, a special tribunal for electoral offences tribunal to try. This one, it can be taken care of. If you ask me so many things about the legalities of things, it's not very easy for me to explain every legality. But all I know is that vote buying is an electoral offence and it's punishable. In fact, we are doing so many things. INEC is collaborating with security agencies. We are also collaborating with the press. We are collaborating with good citizens. We are collaborating with politicians. There is take two to tangle. Those who sell and those who buy. So please, so long as people desist from buying, the seller will have no market at all. So we are making a lot of effort to educate those who buy as well as those who sell. You must have seen a lot of adverts. Not only INEC, a lot of organizations, CSOs, press, they devote a lot of time to make programs in order to dissuade people from selling their franchise, that is their vote. Or even though it is a criminal offense, nevertheless, we appeal to them. We go into them to tell them the advantages and disadvantages of, putting themselves into this peril for a small fraction of something that, before the end of the day, the election is on Saturday, February 25. You collect money in the morning. Before evening, you have already sold your vote, and before evening, there will be no money for breakfast for you. In the morning, you have already spent the money you have collected and you have voted somebody. We are educating people so that people will know, how damaging it is to them and the future of their children. How can, for example, as I'm sitting down here, a politician, in Abaji has gone to a house of a voter in Abaji and gave him Omo. How will I even know that? Even the EO will not know that. Nobody will know that. Excuse me. As you are sitting here interviewing me, you can't be in another place interviewing another person. Is that not correct? So you see, it is what we see that we act on. It is what you see, an act, a perform that you can step in that is contrary to expectation. We cannot, for example, let's not, how can you even, nobody will say that INEC is going to go and monitor every household in this country and stop politicians from. It's not. It means that INEC will stop campaign because a politician can go into somebody. You can go house to house campaign. INEC is not stopping campaign. We are encouraging campaigns. And then you said, we cannot, something like that. This is beyond, not INEC. Nobody can do this, please. We don't have a police station. INEC don't have a police station. We don't have a detention place. INEC is not a court. We hand over this to security apparatus so that they can take care of it, in collaboration with INEC.
Nigerians should not sell that vote because that vote holds significance for the kind of country that they would live in for the next 4 years when those people for whom they have sold their vote to assume leadership and power. Now, if as a citizen who has a PVC, you sell that vote to a politician, you have sold your right to ask any questions. What has happened is a transaction, whereas what is actually required is for you to make a decision as to who to employ using your PVC to run your affairs for the next 4 years. Now, a lot of people don't see it within that context. And some of the reasons are the things you have mentioned: poverty, the unavailability of politicians soon after they enter office. All of these are true. There's serious issues and challenges of poverty around the country. But you can only make that poverty worse if you sell your vote and deny yourself of the ability to interrogate your representatives, those for whom you have voted. You sell your vote, you sell your conscience. You sell your right to stand up and say, no, you are not representing us properly. So we think and we are advocating that Nigerians should respect that vote, should see it as a sacred equipment or implement for engaging people that will manage their affairs, the affairs that will affect them and their children and their parents, for the next 4 years. Now, if you see that vote from that perspective, then you would ask yourself, what amount is worth it to sell that vote? Because what these politicians give these people in exchange for that vote is nothing to write home about most of the times. The times are even harder now than they used to be in the past when we went to the polls to vote. So the temptation and the incentive to sell that vote is higher today than it was 4 years, before now, because of some of the ongoing challenges that we're seeing. But it is not right to sell that vote. There's no amount of money that a politician would give to you now, and I know that it wouldn't be any big money, that would be worth selling off 4 years of your future and your life. The most visible way that it comes in, and we have seen this play out time and again during various elections that have happened, including some of the off-season elections. The most visible way that it takes place is people give money. Some cases 5,000, some cases 2,000, some cases 1,000, in some places 500, And this happens predominantly in the rural areas where people are truly poor, and have very little access, to cash. And so somebody brings in 1,000 naira, brings in 2,000 naira, and the people are willing to exchange their votes for that amount, which they may not see again for a very long time. In some other cases, people give material. We have seen people being given rice, salt, seasoning for soup, and all those type of things, which will not stand the test of time, compared to what you would have lost if you sold that vote and voted for the wrong person to assume office. Well, we have seen that that's a dangerous position to take, because we have seen instances where people are made to take oath. Once you have taken that money, you are made to swear an oath, and because those people believe that if they have taken that oath, it could affect them, we have seen a linkage between selling of vote and voided votes. So we see people go there and they vote for the person that gave them money and still vote on the same ballot for the person that they truly want. And you know, if you vote in two places in one ballot paper, you have voided. It's as good as not voting. So we have noticed that that problem. So if you ask people to take the money and vote their conscience, we have seen people chased to their houses because they took the money and didn't vote as expected and attacked. So it's a dangerous decision to take, to say you will take somebody's money and then you will not vote for the person, you go and vote for a different person. People have been chased to their homes and harm has been done to themselves and their families. So I wouldn't advise that. I would say reject that money and go and vote your conscience and keep a clean conscience. You know, government money is our money does not mean that you would not work to earn it. Government money is our money does not mean that somebody will bring his own that he earned from somewhere or got from somewhere and then give to you, and in an agreement for you to render a certain service, and you don't render that service and take that money. So it's a wrong context again to look at it from that point of view. I would say vote your conscience, stay safe, reject that money. It's illegal. And that is why you see that in some cases, the ICPC and the EFCC arrest people. If you cast your mind back to the period of the primaries that brought these candidates that will be going for general election, vote buying was a big issue. It dominated our political conversation space for a long time, and we saw the roles that monies were playing. But then the ICPC and EFCC were there to kind of moderate what was going on. So a lot of this went on behind the scenes. So it is because vote buying is a crime that you see that EFCC and ICPC put their eyes to find out if this is going on and if arrests can be made. It ultimately falls to the citizen. You understand? There's no institution in this country that has enough personnel to be everywhere at the same time. You know? So it actually falls back to us, the citizens. We need to assist these agencies in performing the task that is expected of them. So again, in this regard, I would say that if you have evidence of someone actually buying votes, you should report. Report to the appropriate institutions with evidence to show that, yes, this has gone down and it influenced the way people voted, and this is the amount, you know, that was given. I'm sure if these agencies have that kind of information coming from citizens, that they will cause investigations to happen. Yeah, in exercising the citizens' right to arrest, I think, yes, citizens, if you find somebody flagrantly selling and buying votes, you can intervene and draw the attention of law enforcement to them. The law enforcement agents know that this is wrong. At the National Orientation Agency, we are partnering with some non-governmental organizations and some security organizations to also use the whistleblowing policy to fight vote buying. You know, that we are providing channels through which, we will be providing channels through which when people find large-scale cases of vote buying and all of that, they could pass this information through this one, and the police and ICPC will act.
And now we've come to the end of the program. Thank you for being a part of this episode of the program, and do remember that for an election to be successful and democratic, voters must understand their rights as well as their responsibilities. They must also be sufficiently knowledgeable and well informed in order to cast a ballot that will be deemed legally valid. This program is facilitated by Institute for Media and Society and funded by the European Union. Please note that the content of this broadcast does not reflect the views of the Institute for Media and Society, nor that of the European Union. Thank you so much for watching all episodes of the programme. I am Nay Opia Clark. Bye-bye.